the world is full of just beautiful people. This particular one decided that they didn't like the look of my front bumper, so they almost damn near ripped the thing off. My poor Subi, my little lesbian livery, took a good hit today in a parking lot. I'm guessing somebody pulled out and just cut too close. Luckily they didn't leave a note, so it's kind of on us to get this fixed, or at least sort of fixed. So figure this will make a good video. I don't know how well we're going to be able to save this, but bet you we can make it a whole lot better than this, and without putting in really any money or any hard work. So see what happens. So bumper did pop out. I don't know if the thing's broken or not, but little rubber mallet never hurt anybody. Need to go down and then in. Yeah. All right, well that worked out. So we do have some deformation in here. So we're gonna throw some heat on that and see if we can't get that to loosen up a little bit and kind of spring back to its original shape. I'll watch our temperature here. It looks like these, when it came around, there's a bumper support in behind here. That's usually a hard plastic. And it looks like it must have caught on that and kind of pinched it. So all I'm trying to do here is soften this back up enough to pound it back in and get it to kind of return to its original shape. Just like that, actually, that's coming out nice. That's not perfect. And you know what? If I really cared, the truth of the matter is this car is going to be getting traded in very soon anyway. So I'm not too concerned about it. But if I worked with that a little bit longer, it's still a little bump there. If I continue to heat it, let it cool and shrink, and heat it and push it back into shape, I'm betting you I could get that to flatten out almost good as new. But like I said, this thing's not long for at least my world. I'll let the next guy deal with it. All right, next up we're going to use Meguiar's Ultimate Compound, my favorite, absolute favorite compounding. It's, I could go with something harsher for some of these bigger marks, but again, I'm not necessarily going for perfection here. If we can get this thing to look like a 10-footer from 10 feet away, you don't really notice it, that'll be good enough for me. And this Meguiar's is just the easiest one-step polish that I have ever run into. Let's see what happens here. Probably time for a new pad. I think this thing's just about had it. We got rid of all of the it'll buff out buffable stuff. So all the light scratches, the stuff that damaged the clear coat, and even a little bit into the color, a lot of that stuff you can just buff right back to normal. So what most people do is pick up some touch-up paint and just go and fill. And you can do that, that's the start of the process, but what you really need to do is do that touch-up, fill it, build up that paint back taller than the paint surrounding it, and then we're gonna come back, we're gonna wet sand that down flush, hit that again with the wheel to give it a nice finish. And you'll be surprised at how good of a job you can do with just some basic paint correction on something as jacked up as this. But even as it stands right now, we look 100% better and less embarrassing to drive around in than we did before. Bringing you in real close to these, so obviously you can see the finer scratches here that were painted over, and then some of the bigger digs here that you know, we're not gonna be able to get these to disappear, obviously. This would require, well, this requires really some body filler more than anything, and really a total respray for that area where it's really gouged. But for smaller scratches like this, if you get those, you run your touch-up paint over them, then come back with this wet sand. A little bit more water in there. You might be surprised at how much you can kind of make these disappear. Actually needed a little bit more paint in there. Obviously this type of thing is not going to get a bumper perfect, but this was 15 minutes worth of work to get it to what I would call a 10-footer. So from 10 feet away, it's really not that noticeable. When you get up on it, obviously you can tell it's seen some things, but it's passable now and semi-respectable, and that's really the goal of it. So touch-up paint, a little bit of sandpaper, and a buffing wheel with some inquires on it can do really amazing things, and you don't need any real skill to do it. So, as always, appreciate you guys watching. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, and/or criticisms, make sure you throw them down in the comment section below me. Otherwise, everybody, thanks for watching and have a great day.